There are two overwhelming reasons why capital punishment has no place in a civilized society. The first is that no judicial system is wholly without error. In the UK and the US, guilt is established not by absolute proof, but beyond a reasonable doubt. There are many cases of people having been convicted and subsequently put to death by the state, only for them to have been determined innocent later. This posthumous pardon does their corpse or ashes and their grieving families precious little good. Examples such as Sharon Keller's decision to shut the courthouse at 5 p.m, thus preventing any appeal being delivered, the sentence being carried out that very night, show that poor judgment and suspect motivation come into play when determining who should live or die at the hands of the judicial system. The second is that if we believe that premeditated murder of a human being is wrong, then that wrongness has to apply to the state as well as its citizens. Proponents of capital punishment often specify that it should only be used for certain crimes, and only then when we are absolutely certain of guilt. That tries but fails to sidestep the questions as to who decides what these crimes should be. At what point does it suddenly become okay to have another person's murder planned and executed? And just how certain do you need to be? If, for example, juries and judges were told that if they approve the use of the death penalty for a crime, and that person is later found to have been innocent, that they would be put to death for that mistake, just how certain would most of them be then? The death penalty is for nothing more or less than slaking the desire for revenge. A desire for revenge to the point where it often doesn't seem to matter whether the person who ends up paying for the crime is actually responsible, just as long as someone ends up paying for it. It's simply the modern equivalent of a human sacrifice. A human being sacrificed on the altar of justice to placate the people's needs for revenge, rather than to please any god or ensure a good harvest, but a pointless and barbaric act all the same. It achieves nothing but to satisfy bloodlust, and it has no place in a civilized society.